Have you ever found yourself completely lost in a video game for hours, but you can barely focus on homework for more than a few minutes? Well, today we're going to unlock that very secret. We're diving into gamification and how it's literally transforming learning from a total chore into a captivating adventure. It's a feeling we all know, right? That powerful, magnetic pull to beat just one more level or to solve just one more puzzle. Now, educators have been trying to capture that same kind of deep, focused engagement for decades. So where does that incredible focus actually come from? You see, the magic behind that just one more level feeling, it isn't just for games. We can actually bottle that lightning and use it to completely transform how we learn. I mean, imagine if studying felt less like a thing you have to do and more like an epic quest you get to do. And the key that unlocks all of this is something called gamification. It's the whole strategy of taking the very elements that make games so ridiculously compelling and using them to turn traditional learning into something deeply engaging, and honestly, way more motivating. Okay, so what exactly is gamification? It's a term you hear thrown around a lot, especially in education and tech. But what does it really truly mean? Let's nail down a clear definition. At its very core, gamification is not about building a brand new video game from the ground up. Nope. It's about strategically borrowing the best parts of games. The points, the achievements, the thrill of making progress, and layering them on top of existing learning activities to make them stick. And listen, this is a really crucial distinction to make. On one side, you have gamification, which is all about adding game mechanics to something that's already there, like earning that Galileo badge just for participating in a science forum. But on the other side, you have game-based learning, which makes the entire activity a game, like a full-on stock market simulation for an economics class. It's a subtle difference, but a really important one. So we know what it is, but why does it work so darn well? What is it about these little game elements that just hijacks our attention and makes us want to keep going? Well, the answer is actually deep inside our own brain's wiring. See, it works because it taps directly into three really powerful, fundamental human motivators. First up, autonomy, that feeling that we are in control of our own journey. Second, mastery, that deeply satisfying feeling of actually getting better at something, of overcoming a real challenge. And finally, purpose, the sense that what we're doing, what we're learning, actually matters and connects to a bigger picture. And here's the kicker. Every single time we hit a goal, earn a badge, or level up in a gamified system, our brain releases a little hit of dopamine. This creates a powerful positive feedback loop that reinforces the behavior, fights off boredom, and makes us genuinely eager to keep going. It's the exact same chemical reaction that keeps you glued to a screen at 2 a.m. trying to beat that one last boss. All right, so the theory is great and all, but what does this actually look like out in the real world? How are educators and app developers putting all this stuff into practice right now? This is pretty much the classic gamification toolkit. You've got point systems for that instant feedback, badges to celebrate those key milestones, leaderboards to spark a little friendly competition, and quests that turn these huge lessons into exciting bite-sized challenges. And chances are, you've already seen these mechanics in action on platforms you use every day. Duolingo is a master at this, using streaks and XP to turn daily language practice into an addictive habit. Then you've got Classcraft, which takes it even further, basically transforming an entire classroom into a role-playing game. And of course, Kahoot, which makes review sessions feel more like a high-energy game show than a pop quiz. But like any powerful tool, gamification is not some magic wand you can just wave around. To use it the right way, we have to understand both its incredible potential and its potential pitfalls. Let's start with the rewards because they are significant. Research shows that when it's done well, gamification can boost student motivation by a staggering 48%. Now, that is not a small number. That's a complete game changer for engagement. And the benefits go way beyond just motivation. By making learning more interactive and, frankly, more fun, students actually remember more of what they've learned. Plus, all the problem-solving built into these systems naturally helps sharpen their critical thinking skills. So with benefits like these, it's really tempting to think of gamification as the silver bullet for education. But the reality is a lot more nuanced than that. The design has to be incredibly thoughtful. You gotta be careful, though.
Without really solid planning, there are real risks. The game elements, the points, the badges, they can end up being a distraction from the actual learning. Leaderboards might create unhealthy competition instead of collaboration, and leaning too heavily on rewards can cheapen the pure joy of learning something new. The key isn't to avoid these things, but to design systems that navigate these challenges really, really carefully.
So, where does gamification go from here? I mean, this is not a static concept. It's constantly evolving, and new technologies are unlocking possibilities we could have only dreamed up just a decade ago. The next wave is already here. Just imagine AI creating personalized learning quests that adapt to your strengths and weaknesses in real time. Or picture augmented and virtual reality dropping you right into the middle of a historical event or a complex science experiment. This tech is poised to make learning more immersive and effective than we've ever seen before. And ultimately, this is the core idea that ties it all together. Gamification isn't about replacing teachers or making education silly. It's about, as this quote says, channeling the magic of games to make learning as captivating as play. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if we're moving towards a future where success in school is measured less by grades and more by engagement, by progress, and maybe, just maybe, by high scores? It's a fascinating question about where this whole journey is taking us. Thanks for joining this explainer.